Kasi at the end of the day, the survival of your people depends on that. It's how you respond to their needs and how you adapt your strategies. Anyway, given what I know about smart cities, I guess the words that come to mind are one, connectivity, technology-oriented projects or interventions, wherein you use this as a way to address the concerns or the evolving needs of the communities. And from what I know, this is strongly anchored on the availability of data. And sometimes this data is, translated into some decision-making tools, like in our case when we had this pandemic, Franco would make this risk maps. So yun siya, gumawa rin siya ng COVID na dashboard through the help of one organization, yung National Resilience Council. So that data became our basis in making decisions, like when we make recommendations kay Mayor on what to do with our COVID-19 local efforts, we always go back to these maps, to these numbers. So, yun. So, being a smart city, it's really anchored on using this technology and the value of using the data so that the needs of the communities or the challenges being faced by the communities are being addressed. Yung pagtingin ko dito, yung ending is to improve the way of life of the people. Yan.
To add lang, when we say smart city, it's an urban development using data, using the ICT, using the Internet of Things, to gather data, to share data, as well as to help our constituents by rendering our services through this. Yun yung smart city na concept.
Diba? This is a rapidly changing society. And given the changes, it's rapidly changing, and then the needs evolve as well. So cities have to respond to these changes if it wants to survive or if it wants to make itself relevant or meaningful to its people. Kasi kung isa kang city, nakikita mo kung anong pangangailangan ng mga constituents mo. Like right now, we're being faced with issues of climate change. We are faced with various disaster risks or issues of migration because of COVID-19. So as a city, you have to be responsive to the evolving needs because this will affect, for example, employment. Many will be unemployed, so you have to think of ways on how to respond to these needs of the people. Kasi at the end of the day, the survival of your people depends on that. It's how you respond to their needs and how you adapt your strategies based on these needs will spell the survivability of the city or of your people.
New trends, new techniques, new normal, and forget those old obsolete ways. We have to build our city through this to cope up with the new life.
Sa ngayon, given the concept of smart cities, I think really there's a need for us to have data. Like in the case of the city, there's just a lot of data, but then there's no central platform where you can access all this data. So, lagi nga, kailangan namin yun sa risk reduction efforts. Just how many people are exposed when it comes to flooding, how many communities are exposed to earthquake, to fire. So we need all those numbers kasi doon din nakasalala yung mga strategies when it comes to, prepositioning of goods, identifying how many people do you need or personnel do you need in this kind of response operations. So, kailangan namin ng data and, there's a need for the different offices to sit down so that we can talk about how to store all this data and how can this data be accessed by everyone. I'd like to think so because, DOST has already set out their framework. And at the same time, we have Project LUNGSOD to assist us. So I'd like to believe that the ingredients in making a smart city is already available for Iloilo City. What we need is just to pull things together. Alam mo yun? Pag-usapan how can we kick off with our journey in becoming a smart city. So with the right guidance from the experts like Project LUNGSOD, I think we can kick off with a transition of Iloilo into a smart city.
This is Iloilo City. We are always ready for everything. We are always ready to become a smart city.